Mi gente. This morning I went for a run and I swear to you, I wasn't even warmed up yet when I just happened to see this little girl. And she caught my attention because she could have been no older than 6 or 7 years old. But she didn't have an adult in sight. She was wearing her little backpack, and the look on her face, it was an all too familiar face of fear. I stopped dead in my tracks. I had to go and see what was going on with that little girl. She didn't speak any English, and so I spoke to her in Spanish, and I asked her where her mother was. She was so afraid. She didn't want to speak to me, but she told me that her mother was at work. I asked her who was with her, and she said nobody, that she was going to school. But I told her it's spring break. There's nobody at the school. And she assured me that she'd been going there all week. I analyzed the little girl. She was freshly bathed. Her hair was done in cute little pigtails, and she had child's cologne on. So I knew that her mother had to have seen her recently, and perhaps she was telling the truth. But that didn't eradicate the fear that was in her eyes. I continued on my run because I believed the little girl, but I didn't feel good about it. Her mother, she didn't think. She went off to get a job because she thought that was the only way she could provide for her child. But she didn't consider what could happen in her absence. I'm a single mom. I know how hard things can be. But I'm also not deterred when people turn their noses up at me, when they see me crawling on my hands and knees with my children on my back, doing the work underground, because I know that I have a gift. I know that if I do the work, and I have faith that God is going to bless me in the end. But not everybody has my faith. And not everybody is willing to do the hard work that nobody else can see. And so some of these women, desperately trying to fix their problem, will go out and get a job and leave their child unattended. But they never considered the fact that their child could be abducted, their child could be molested, or their child could get into things that will cause damage and get them into trouble at a later date. The reason I train men is not because I'm a hoe or because I want you to take your man. It is because I am a woman, but I have the strength of a man inside this body, and I was given that gift for a reason. I was able to go into another country with no family, with no help, to do it myself with my children, and to do it with rectitude, to not sell my body, to not go look for a man to take care of me. And do you know why I do this? Because this way, when I work with a man, he can respect me. I do this because I am an advocate for women and children. If I can do it without falling back on my looks, without selling out, and I'm a woman, how do you think that makes a man look at me? It takes a woman that is deeply rooted to compass a man. But our men, they're being choked out by the weeds. As strong and independent women, we must learn to carry ourselves with integrity. It is the root that determines the fruit. So it is up to us as women to provide our children with stability. And men, you are not getting off so easily because you do not classify the root because of the fruit. The root is classified by the tree. You cannot build a structure or an edifice without money. So today, measure the cost to make it all the way to the top and disperse your budget accordingly. Because you got it. Go get it. Accept it with love. Endure it with patience. Return it with